Welcome back to Squawk Box. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announcing plans to resign after nearly a decade in power. Trudeau says that he will stay on as Prime Minister until his Liberal Party picks a new leader later this year. Joining us right now to discuss the implications for the U.S., including trade, tariffs, and so much more. I want to bring in Bruce Heyman, who served as U.S. Ambassador to Canada in the Obama administration. He is author of The Art of Diplomacy, Strengthening the Canada-U.S. Relationship in Times of Uncertainty. And boy, are we there right now. Mr. Ambassador, thank you for joining us. Maybe one of the first casualties of a trip to Mar-a-Lago, Ambassador.
Well, you know, while those dots look to connect, the reality is that in Canada, prime ministers of either party, conservative or liberal, have about a 10-year term. And while they've been reelected various times, and it isn't a term, but a 10-year life expectancy as prime minister, and Justin Trudeau is at about that mark right now. And so it's not surprising. Also, in a post-pandemic world, we've seen a lot of changes in government in the Western world, and Canada is no exception, having experienced some of the same issues that we faced in the United States with inflation and cost of groceries and rising levels of government debt and those kinds of things. So look, he faced a battle within his own party, and he addressed that directly when he addressed the Canadian public. And he knew that the election was scheduled to take place this year, and he knew it would be very difficult for him to survive that.
Okay, so but let's talk about the implications of this. How the politics change in Canada, how that changes the relationship with the United States.
So let's just go at a high level, first of all, for all of Americans. The U.S. has no better partner, no better ally, no better friend in the entire world than Canada. And we're lucky that Canada is our northern neighbor. But if we went around the world and said we could choose anybody, I think we'd go back and choose Canada again. And so how it will change, I think it's a good moment, actually, in some respects, that we'll have a new leader in the United States, a new prime minister in Canada, and it gives us an opportunity to sit down and have a dialogue and build on what we have done so successfully historically in building this incredible relationship. You know, over 2/3 of the United States, their number one export market is Canada. And I have traveled with Republican governors and Democratic governors throughout Canada in promoting trade, most recently even this last year with Governor Pritzker from Illinois. So I think the opportunity set is quite large here, and I think it's going to be a good moment as a reset moment for two new leaders to sit down.
When you think about this, though, what is the take inside of Canada about some of President-elect Trump's commentary as it relates to Canada being the potentially great 51st state of the United States? What does that do to the psyche of all of this?
Well, look, there's a range of reactions. Some of those reactions are thinking it's humorous. Others, take it as a compliment. You think we're so valuable up here, you'd like us to be part of the United States. But the reality is the Canadians are a very proud people. They are while next door, and some Americans may think they're just like us, they're not. They are a unique culture. I've experienced this on both sides of the border in business and politics. And I will tell you, I think it just energizes and gives the opportunity for Canadians to come together as one country and to have that dialogue with the United States. But I think everything that Donald Trump would like to see get accomplished with Canada can be done diplomatically and can be done behind closed doors and a conversation with new ambassadors, with new Secretary of State coming in, Marco Rubio, and gives a real good opportunity for the United States to do some level setting. Yeah, sure, there are some small areas of concern, but for the most part, this is the richest relationship between two countries in the world.
Is there anything in any joke, they always say that there's some truth. So when President-elect Trump says that the trade imbalance with the U.S. basically subsidizes a lot of what happens in Canada, and that's the point he's making, that being next to the most powerful economy on the planet, it has been very lucrative for Canada. And in certain ways, you say there are small areas that aren't fair. Is that all it is at this point, Mr.
It was
Ambassador?
interesting, Joe. I sat down with a Foreign Service officer and I looked across the table at her when I became ambassador, and I said, what are the challenges that we have with Canada? And after a pregnant pause for a while, she said, there are none. And I said, there are none. Well, we have Keystone Pipeline, and we have, softwood lumber, and we have the Detroit-Windsor Bridge, and who's going to pay for that?
Milk, right? How much?
Milk.
Yeah.
We have milk and dairy. And she said,
Real
no,
milk,
sir, we just have opportunities. We just have opportunities. Now, the trade imbalance that people are referring to, it's substantially energy. And look, we need that energy in the United States, and we benefit from this strong relationship. And the energy that we get from Canada is of all types. It's from renewables to fossil fuels, and it's from hydro to solar. And so, look, I think the opportunity set to expand the energy relationship is there. But, this trade deficit is small in terms of the total size of the relationship. We have a multi-billion-dollar daily trading relationship and investment relationship that creates jobs on both sides of the border. And our trading relationship is literally that math that 1 + 1 is 3. It's better for both of us. We create jobs, and we're better as a result of it.
Okay. Ambassador, we're going to leave the conversation there. I want to thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Okay. Coming up, should be.